here with Half Dozen Customs. I'm back out here on the Monte Carlo today for a little Monte Monday action. We left off with getting a coat of lightweight filler on the roof. We're going to work on getting that sanded down today. We're just getting past the holidays, so I hope everybody had a good Christmas and a Happy New Year. If you guys can hear, it's pretty quiet in the shop right now. I recently just went through my compressor. I tore the whole thing apart. We rebuilt some things, and we got it all put back together. And this is going to be the first real test of how it does. But no more air leaks, and as far as I can tell, no more oil leaks. So yeah, let's put it to the test and see what we can do. I got my air file here with a used piece of 80 grit on here, so nothing new, nothing fresh. It feels like it still has some bite to it, so we'll go ahead and start with this, and maybe we'll change up partway through, but for right now I think we're good. Let's get to it. Well, another thing that I did was I put a shut off on the lines, so I did not turn that on. Alright, I gotta figure out a way to hang this line. We're just up so high, it's getting snagged on the door handle, it's getting snagged on me, it's getting snagged on the edge of the door. Let's figure something out. So you can see, like, in this area there, it's not very strong. Up here I wasn't having that problem, but back here most definitely we are having that issue. It could be that the roof is stretched out a little bit, could just be because it's just a piece of sheet metal with no support underneath it. But we have to be careful, because when we're sanding that, if it's continuously moving when we're sanding that, you're never going to get it straight. So you have to not push hard at all and just take your time, let the machine do the work. checking on the compressor, seeing how it's doing. You know, kind of looking across the shop, it kind of looks like there's a haze in the shop, and I don't know, you know, is it the dust from this, or is my compressor smoking? After I had rebuilt this compressor, it worked really well for a few weeks, and then it started smoking real bad. And what had happened is, after being rebuilt, I was supposed to go back and retorque all the bolts back down after, you know, heating and cooling and heating and cooling. You know, everything started to loosen up, and it said right in the instructions, go back and torque it. And I guess because everything had started to loosen up, it was sucking air, which was causing the oil to like atomize, and it was coming out the breather. And like, it was bad. Like, it was smoking out the whole shop. Like, I was having to open the door and put a fan in the door just to suck it out. And I torqued everything down again, and that problem went away. But I had the whole pump apart again over the weekend. And it just seems hazy in here to me, and it shouldn't, because I haven't, this is the first go around. You know, after I rebuilt the pump the first time, it took a few weeks before it got to that point. It didn't happen like the very next day. So I don't know, maybe it's just dust from this. Let's hope, fingers crossed. Like I'm hearing a little tapping going on in that compressor. I don't know, maybe I'm just hearing things because I just worked on it, and I'm looking for something to be wrong with it. But you know, I don't know how much the camera's picking up, but you know, as you can see, I kind of started at the front, and then I kind of gradually worked my way to the middle, and then to the back, and then back to the middle, and now we're back up at the front. And it's not done being sanded. I will continue to keep doing that motion, that pattern, you know, going back and forth from the front to the back, keeping this thing moving, and trying to sand down the entire roof at the same time. You know, when it comes to things like when you're buffing, like, you know, you pick a 1 foot by 1 foot square, you buff that till it's done, you move on to the next 1 foot by 1 foot square. You buff that till it's done, and you keep moving around till you get the whole roof done. When it comes to body work, like, you don't want to just work on the front and get the front to where it's perfect, and then move to the middle. Because then, you know, your front's going to be down low, and your middle's going to be up high. And while you're sanding down that middle, you're continuously bumping into what is already sanded smooth at the front. And you're going to end up taking too much off of the front. And then once you get the middle sanded smooth, then you're going to move to the back, and the middle is going to end up being lower than what is at the back. And you're going to keep bumping into the middle as you're sanding the back, and you're going to end up with like stripes going down of a low spot, because you're continuously bumping into something that's already sanded. So got to keep moving around and try and sand everything equally. You know, it's looking smooth, but I can still see my pulls from the Bondo. I can still see there's lines that aren't sanded all the way through. So, you know, we haven't sanded anything 100% yet. You know, we're probably about 75%. and we're just going to keep moving around until, you know, everything's nice and smooth. I'm not focusing on one spot more than the other. I'm trying to, you know, spread the workload out. I'm not pushing on this thing at all. I'm just letting the weight of the tool do the work. So, I don't know if you guys can, I don't know if you're picking this up in the camera over here, but we're starting to, I see a dark spot here. Now that could be Marglass, because if you remember, there was a bunch of dents right here. And we kind of filled those dents with some Marglass before we put the filler on. So I could be hitting Marglass there, or it could be metal. We've already started to hit metal right here, and we have a low spot, a low spot, and a low spot, and we're breaking through here and here. So this area needs more work. Not more sanding, it needs more filler. We gotta apply more filler to this. So, you know, what we're gonna end up doing here is, you know, we're gonna get the whole roof sanded out, but we're gonna get everything sanded out as smooth as we possibly can, and then we'll come back and we'll recoat just what needs to be recoated, and we'll get that sanded out. And you know, chances are I'm gonna end up recoating this roof again. Now, if I rub my hands on it and it feels really good, and I go in for lunch or whatnot, and I come back out and I rub my hands on it again, and it still feels really good, then I'll go ahead and prime it. You know, and maybe we'll just put an extra couple coats of primer on there. But, you know, being a black roof, or a black car, and the roof is going to be eye level, you're you know, when you're walking up to this car, like, the roof is going to stand out. If there's any waves or dings or dents or anything in it, you're gonna see it. So, you know, we need to make sure that this roof is absolutely perfect, as well as the rest of the car. But, you know, the roof is going to be a major focal point when you're walking up on this car. So, and the reason that I'll probably end up recoating it again is because of the low spots, because we have low spots here that need to be refilled again. It's the same thing that I was explaining before, that if you get the, you know, if you work on the front, you get that sanded completely smooth, and then you jump to the middle and you get this completely smooth, you're going to be bumping into this over here, you're going to create a low spot. It's the same thing with this. Because there's low spots in here and we need to recoat this area, when I'm sanding this, you're going to be constantly bumping into this around here, and you're going to create, you know, a low spot there. So, you know, that's why, you know, you get this coated. That's why we coated it first. But obviously, you know, what we coated first, you know, wasn't enough. I probably should have, we should have probably just coated this area and body worked all this, and then when we got this nice and smooth, then gone on and coated the whole roof. The reason being that you know, it's ending up the way that it is, and you know, I did it the way that I did it. You know, we did coat it first, and then we put the second coat on. And you know, I was not expecting this roof to come out straight the first time, because, you know, this thing was stored outside. It was stored in a garage. It had stuff piled all over it. You know, this was, you know, my wife's car, or Colleen's car, you know, when she was young, when she was like 18 years old, I guarantee you people climbed on this roof. So, you know, I wasn't expecting this roof to come out right the first time. And that's why I wasn't concerned with, trying to get it straight before we put our top coat on, because I figured it was just going to be everywhere. As of right now, where we're at, it's looking pretty decent, and I'm wishing I would have done that. But you know, we'll have to keep going and keep seeing where we're going to end up at. You know, I expect by the time we're done sanding this that, you know, we're going to have breakthroughs of bare metal like this all over the place. That's what I'm expecting. You know, we'll have to see, and you know, I'm gonna keep sanding here, but I'm gonna shut you guys down because nobody wants to watch me air file this roof down for 4 hours. So I'm gonna shut you guys down, and we'll check back in a little bit. Probably when we get this side, you know, where I'm happy with it, and we're jumping over to the other side, you know, I'll jump back on with you guys. I'll show you how this side is turning out, and we'll start working on the other side. So I will see you guys back here. It'll be just seconds for you guys. It'll probably be a couple hours for me. So I'll see you guys back here shortly. Welcome back. Just kidding. Okay, as you can see, we got this side sanded down as far as we're gonna take it. You know, I'll bring the camera over here and I'll show you guys. You know, there's a low spot in the front here. This whole area right here is a low spot. We have the low spot right here in this area. So, you know, it looks really good. I'm really happy with the way that it's turning out. If this car was going a lighter color, I would just hit these low spots and call it a day. But, you know, like I said, being that we're going black, you know, we're gonna what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recoat this because this is pretty rough still. There's a low spot up here in the front that I'm gonna hit because it's a decent little low spot. And then we're just gonna, you know, after I sand this stuff back down, we'll and we get the other side sanded down, we'll, you know, recoat the whole roof like I was saying. And then after that, like, we should be golden. Especially after a couple good coats of primer on it. And you know, I've explained this in other videos. I don't know if those videos have been posted yet or whatnot, but normally, like, when I do a vehicle that has to have a show quality finish on it, I will prime the vehicle twice. So, you know, you get all the body work done, you get it primed out, then you block the entire car out with 180 and guide coat. And then I prime the car again, and then at that point it's ready to wet sand and get it ready for paint. So that's what will happen with this car. This car will get primed and blocked and then primed again and then wet sanded down for paint. So, but you know, I don't know how well it shows up in camera. You can see there's a low spot there. You can see there's a low spot here. There's a little something going on here. You know, I don't think it's a low spot. I think there's just air pockets in the filler that we put on there and here. But, you know, if you look, you can kind of see, like, you know, you can see a grayish color area there. You come up into here, you can see that there's definitely bare metal, a grayish spot, a grayish spot, gray, and gray. Like, this whole area right here has been dented in at one point in time in its life. Whether, like I said, somebody climbed on it, which is a very good possibility, or just, you know, years of stuff being piled on top of it. You know, that's what causes that right there. So, you know, you never want to pile stuff on top of your vehicle, because, you know, that's the damage it causes. Even if you don't think that you're doing damage to it, like, that's what happens to it. So, and that's why I said this, like, whole area here is kind of a low spot. I mean, it doesn't feel like it when I rub my hand across it. I don't feel nothing, but like, you can see here, like, there's still a spreader line and some voids in the filler. Same thing with right here. So, and it's because I didn't want to continue to keep sanding, because we were already hitting metal all the way around this area. So if I kept sanding in here, you know, it was going to go down lower than it needed to go. So, but that's pretty much it for this side. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix up a little bit of filler. I'm going to hit these couple of low spots on this side, and then we'll jump over to the other side and start sanding over there. And then, you know, if there's anything over there that needs to be coated, we can coat that. Then we can jump back over here. By that time, this side should be cured, dried, ready to sand. And we can sand that stuff. And, you know, maybe by the time, you know, you get that done, then the other side's ready to go. Who knows? But, so that's my plan. I'm going to shut you guys back off. I'm going to get just a little coat over here on a couple of spots, and we'll be back to start sanding on the other side. Alright, we're back out here to sand this side. I got a couple of low spots that were on that side coated again. Let's work on this side. This side should, I'm not going to say go a little easier, but it should go a little faster, because we came over from that side over the halfway point. So it's not as much to sand on this side now. So okay, same story as the other side. It's going to take me a little while to get it sanded down. I'm not going to video the whole thing, so I will see you guys back here when we get it nice and sanded and smooth. Again, same thing as the other side. I'm just letting the machine do the work. I'm not pressing on it. Keep it flat. Don't let it rock side to side. 80 grit only. So I'll see you guys back here in a little bit. Okay, so we got this side sanded out. It did go faster than the other side, but we have more issues over here than we did on the other side. There's a low spot here, there's a low spot here, there's a low spot here, and a low spot here. We got another little guy right here. So, either this side was in a little worse shape than the other side, which is completely possible, or I just didn't put enough on over here, which I didn't think that I, you know, cut myself short over here, but, you know, anything's possible. So I'm gonna mix up a little filler. We're gonna coat all these low spots that I see. I'm gonna check the other side and see if that side's dry. I should have did that side before we went in for lunch, which when I shut off the camera I fully intended to, but it didn't happen. So yeah, let's get these low spots coated up. And if that side's not ready to sand yet, I'm probably gonna jump in and start sandblasting on the trunk. We still gotta finish that guy. I haven't touched him since the last little clip that you guys seen of it. That it's still sitting the same way in there. So, and you know, I don't know. We'll try when we coat this for the final coat to try and coat the entire roof in one shot. You know, I don't know. We'll try because that is another thing that, you know, like this low spot that I'm seeing in here, these like little void areas. It's like it's right where that side met this side. So I guess worst case scenario, what we could do is we could coat this side first so that we're coating all the way out to here, and then go over and do that side so that we're not ending up in the exact same spot. I mean, it's smooth, like I'm not feeling nothing. But there is a lot of imperfections right here through this area. But I know that they're in low spots because we got high spot, high spot, high spot, high spot. There's some high spots here. So just like the other side, you know, we're starting to hit metal. And when we start to hit metal, then, you know, we're as low as we can go at that point. So you gotta stop. So but yeah, let's get a little bit mixed up here and let's coat some stuff and we'll go from there. I think we got all this coated that needs to be coated. So I didn't really check the other side yet, but I used this bottom side to coat that side, and it still feels tacky on my fingers underneath here. So I know that side's not ready to sand yet. Nah, let's go over there and sand it anyways. All right, well, we got that little spot sanded down there, and we got this spot sanded down here. I don't feel it. It feels good. It feels smooth. So that's good for the next coat. And we gotta give the other side some more time. So I think for now I'm gonna jump in here and start sandblasting the trunk lid in there and see if we can get some more done. Hopefully it'll go a little better, a little faster with the compressor running better. So all right, well, I will check back in with you guys either with some work done with the trunk, or maybe to do some air filing on that roof. It is getting late, and it's almost 9 o'clock already. So I only got about an hour left. So we may not get to that roof tonight. Spend this next hour sandblasting and probably call it a night at that point. But I'll check back in with you guys and we'll see what I got done. All right, we're back over here at the roof. Gonna attempt to start sanding this. Feels like it's good and dry, way drier than the other side. I just spent the last hour or so sandblasting the trunk lid. Not done yet, but we got some more of it tackled. So let's just sand this down real quick, and then I'm calling it a night. Okay, well, we got this side sanded down. As you can see, we have a lot of metal showing in here, and that there is a perfect example of how I was explaining earlier that, you know, you wanna work the whole roof as a whole. You don't want to work, you know, like on the front and then go to the middle and then to the end, because when you go from the front to the middle, you're running back over the front again, and you're going to sand too much off of the front. This is a perfect example of it. We had already sanded down the whole roof and had the whole roof pretty flat, and then we coated a couple of spots here, and sanding those spots sanded this twice, and we broke through to metal everywhere. Now, you know, this happened because there's a dent here, there's a dent here, there's a dent here, and, you know, we have broke down to the metal that was higher than where those dents were, and that's what it is. And I can feel this. When I rub my hand over it, I mean, it feels okay-ish, but, you know, I can feel it. Where, you know, if I rub my hand over here, like, it is sanded nice and smooth. Same thing with the driver's side. Like, when you rub your hand over that driver's side, it is nice and smooth over there, because the majority of the driver's side came out really nice. You know, and this side, it needed more work, and You know, this is just part of what happens. And now with one good coat over the whole thing and we sand it down, we should be good to go. You know, I'm not concerned about this. I mean, yes, I feel it, but part of what you feel when you rub your hand across it, you got to be able to determine whether you're feeling a dent or you're feeling the drag from the filler to the smoothness of the metal, back to the drag of the filler to the smoothness of the metal. Just because there's different textures between the two, you know, it causes a funky feeling when you're rubbing your hand over it. So some of what I'm feeling could just be the smoothness of the metal between the roughness of the filler, and some of it is, you know, we got some wobblies going on through here because we're going for you know, 1 coat of filler to 2 coats of filler to bare metal to 2 coats of filler to 1 coat of filler with bare metal. Like, you know, there's definitely some transitions going on over here on this side. Like I said, either this side was worse or I didn't put enough on over here. You know, I remember doing this side, like I mixed up a whole lot over here, but I remember like by the time we were getting down to here, I was running low on filler to coat the rest of this, and what I should have done is I should have mixed more and coated the rest of it, but instead what I did was I started pulling from the front to the back. I'm sure if you go back and look at that video, you'll see I started pulling the filler to make the whole roof, and that's probably where I screwed up. I shouldn't have done that. You know, when I got this front section coated, I think we were about right in this area. I was out of filler, and I should have made more for the back half. But you know, I'd say lesson learned, but I guarantee you that won't be the last time that I do that. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, and you know, it's not the first time I've done it. It won't be the last time I've done it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Maybe you guys, you know, learned a little something about trying to, you know, work an area that's this large. You know, hopefully you learned something from, you know, how you spread your filler to, you know, not try and stretch it out, to, you know, how you go from sanding, you know, all the way through and then continue, you know. I didn't try and sand it down all at once. I didn't just work on one area. You know, I spread the load out over everything and try and do it evenly from front to back. So, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and hope everybody had some good holidays. See you later. I'm out. Alright, we're back out here the next morning, and we're gonna spread the next coat on this roof and let it sit till next Monday. So I'm not mixing it on the roof today because we already got filler on there. I don't want unmixed filler soaking into the filler that we already have on there. So I only mix it on the first coat on the vehicle, you know, if it's feasible to do, when it's just on the bare metal. But you know, now we got filler on there that, you know, unmixed, I don't know, the resins that are in the filler, you know, being unmixed soaking in. I don't want to do that. Okay, we got it all coated. I'm much happier with it this time. I didn't try and push it. If I wasn't making it, I went and got more. And I was able to get it all done before the other side had started to cure. That was another kind of thing that it wasn't a problem, but because some of it, you know, we coated this side first and then went and coated the other side, and this side had started to cure before we finished that side, so I wasn't able to pull it nice and smooth where we met from the two sides. So this time we were able to do that. We were able to make sure that everything stayed nice and wet as we pulled through, and no weird humps or bumps or anything like that, because there was hardened filler that we were trying to coat up to. Looks good. I'm happy with it. We're gonna let this dry till next Monday, and we'll be back to sand this out, and I think we will be perfect this next round. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little few minute video. Got to see me spread a lot of filler, and yeah, we'll see you guys later. Have a good day.